This is Kristen Clarke, President and Executive Director of the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights Under Law. We are deeply concerned about the call to activate untrained poll watchers to monitor for alleged fraud. We know that fraud is a non-existent problem in our country. There is little to no evidence that vote fraud exists. We are deeply concerned about the chilling effect that this call can have on the electorate and on minority voters in particular. And we are also very concerned about the disruption that this call can have for poll workers who endeavor to conduct a smooth election in November. So we are deeply concerned and deem this to be a potential or a call that could lead to voter suppression activity at the polls in November. We are also very concerned about the U.S. Department of Justice's recent decision to terminate a core component of its Federal Observer program. Federal observers have been deployed to polling sites in covered states under the Voting Rights Act, so states largely located in the South, including Texas, California, and New York, South and North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. These are places where there have been 11th hour efforts to suppress the African American, Latino, and minority vote. And the Federal Observer program provided an important safeguard. The Justice Department had the ability to deploy specially trained individuals who would be positioned inside polling sites from the beginning of an election to the very end to monitor for suppression and to ensure that poll workers treated all voters fairly and evenly. Without the Federal Observer program in place, we may see an uptick in voter suppression, but most importantly, we are seeing voters in a more vulnerable position this election cycle.